So we'll go ahead and hop over into Miles Sanders, who finished running back 15 last year, had 179 rushes for 818 yards, 3 rushing TDs, had 50 receptions, 63 targets for 509 yards, and an additional 3 receiving touchdowns. So, guys, your thoughts around Miles Sanders?
I am buying every piece of Miles Sanders stock that I can, within reason, obviously. But he is going to be the featured running back there for all intents and purposes. He's going to be the guy. He has proven that he can play at this level, even in his rookie year. So going into his second season, you can only hope to see the improvement that you would expect. So I am big on Miles Sanders, and this will be a running theme for me throughout this as we break it down. I make no bones about it. I like the Philadelphia Eagles. They're not my team per se, but I do like them mainly because of their quarterback. But I find myself having to pick which Eagles I want on my team and which Eagles I'm willing to reach for. And Miles Sanders is a guy that I would be very comfortable getting in that turnaround in the second round somewhere. I think that's a great place for him. I think he's going to have another good year. And hopefully if the Eagles have some semblance of a passing game with any healthy wide receivers, the running game should open up off of that.
I'm going to take the opposite approach here. I am fading the crap out of Miles Sanders.
Ooh, here we go.
I don't have any faith that the guy can run between the tackles. I don't have any faith that the quarterback can stay healthy and feed him in the passing game. I think Boston Scott did a little bit more within that locker room and that team concept towards the tail end of last year than anyone wants to give him credit for after bouncing around a couple taxi squads. Now, is Miles Sanders still the number one option at running back? Yes, absolutely. He is that team's running back one. He is a top 20 running back. There is no doubt about it. But I am not going to spend, back end of the second round or the beginning of the third round capital on a Miles Sanders when there is so much more talent out there that I could diversify with. I could end up with you can get a Cortland Sutton, you can get a DJ Moore if he's falling. There's drafts where I've seen DeAndre Hopkins slipping. Keenan Allen, we've talked about this before with the Chargers. Keenan Allen is a better overall fantasy prospect in my eyes. And I'm switching positions, but unless you go 0 RB, which is possible, there's a format to that. You go 0 RB and you load up on receiver in your first 2 picks, then I understand why you go Sanders. But if you are playing a different type of game and looking at things different and how you're building your team, you're grabbing, kind of your upper echelon running back early. Maybe you get lucky and one guy comes back to you on the swing, and then you're filling it out with a Juju, with an Odell, all these guys who are true number ones on their team. And then I'm going to fade Miles Sanders for his price. If I could get Miles Sanders in the 4th or 5th, I would jump all over it. I am not, and that's where it is. It's the value behind it. The guy finished as a running back 1 5 times his rookie season. That's it. Now, in those 5 times, he went gangbusters, running back 5, running back 6, running back 3. Like he showed he can put up those big games. He has some wiggle to him. He does have some burst. He has good hands. He has a lot of these attributes that you want your guy to have. But that being said, I would much rather take a Josh Jacobs, a Joe Mixon, Derrick Henry, and Nick Chubb, all these guys, and then wait and pick up a Damian Williams, a Todd Gurley, even a Melvin Gordon, and that type of stuff. Those guys that are going around that same range, I would feel more comfortable with that and building my team in totality in that format.
Yeah, I would agree with you. We'll do a little bit of a would you rather here. 3 guys here, similar ADP. I got my ADP from Sleeper,
Okay.
So a little bit different than what you were doing there. But right now you've got Austin Eckler, ADP of 15.1, Miles Sanders, ADP of 15.7, and Aaron Jones, ADP of 18.8. So all second round backs and picks right there. Guys, who are you taking out of those 3? Rank them.
Can I pass on all these guys? I'm not high on. I'm not high on any of these guys. I'd rather have a Kenyon Drake, or I'd rather wait, and I'd rather go Carson or Carson, Gordon, like you said, Mark Ingram, even a David Johnson. Like, I'm a lot higher on David Johnson than a lot of people, but I know I can get him a little bit later in that 5th or 6th round.
Yeah, I'm kind of along your lines there, Kevin, where I think I'd rather punt on all three of those guys. Now, if I can get Miles Sanders as my third running back on the team, then I'll go for it there, but he's not going to fall that far.